Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone's doing good. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about data science basically from scratch. So I understand that some of us are really interested in data science, specifically in aspects like machine learning, part of which includes natural language processing, deep learning, neural networks, and all of that. But then we also have zero clue, right? This is for those who is just getting started to get into this amazing field of data science, which has just I'm just blown away by its applications, and I'm just totally in love with it. So I figured out I would just learn and then teach as I go. So welcome to this tutorial series where I'd be dealing with data science, basically starting even from the most bare bone aspects of Python. So without further ado, I hope before I continue to my tutorials, anyway, I hope I want to cover as much as I can in depth, starting from the basics of Python. Anyway, let's get going, and in this video we're going to be discussing about Python basics, specifically driven towards data science. Actually, as a matter of fact, if you know Python, you can get into using libraries and such. But anyway, we've seen already how to get started with installing Anaconda. If you have not already installed Anaconda or Miniconda, I've already done a tutorial for that. Please check it out. Probably I would even be linking it out in the description. Anyway, so I'm just activating my environment, and my environment is ready. Now I'm going to create a new folder called Data Science. We'll call this as Data Science from scratch, with no steps skipped. Alright, so now that we have this folder, I'm going to call this and get into this folder. Okay, and then I'm going to do conda install JUPYTER. Now if I do this, it's going to install what is called as a Jupyter notebook, which I'm going to be talking about. Well, since I've already installed, it's telling me it's all done, and it says it's already installed. Okay, so I'm going to say CLS, and then I'm going to go. Notice that I'm already inside this folder. I'm going to say JUPYTERNOTEBOOK, and if I hit enter, this Jupyter notebook thing should show up in the browser. So you see this Jupyter notebook shows up, and notice it says localhost 88,000, not 88,000, it is 8888/3. And then this command prompt showed something which is the status of the Jupyter notebook. Well, what is Jupyter notebook basically? It's a place where you can actually type some code and see how the code is behaving. How should I tell? It's like a portable compiler at your place. We'll explore this when we go in depth. But anyway, so this is how we get started. Python 3. If I choose Python 3, and notice this Jupyter notebook is inside my folder Data Science from scratch with no steps skipped. Okay, so if I hit Python 3, this new Jupyter notebook gets started off, and then if I rename this notebook, let's say Python Basics. Okay, Python Basics. I'll make it as one word and then hit OK. So this Jupyter notebook is renamed as Python Basics. Now let's get started. Hello world, that's where we get started. Print hello world. Okay, so if I do play here, this is the compiled output. Well, there is no compiler for Python. This is the interpreted output. So print hello world. Okay, now if I just do it another way, let's say print A, and then I want to include some text. let's say my name is, and then if I want to include some text, I'm going to say format, and then choose the name I want to include. Well, my name is name variable, I'll include it. This is a string, so I'm going to include format name, and if I hit play again, so it says my name is Rakshit. So this bracket got replaced by the variable that you put it in there. Okay, next let's get into some iteration stuff. For instance, let's get into for loop. Now, you know, I'm talking in this video with an intuition that you have some basic programming knowledge, right? You're coming from a different programming language such as Java, PHP, whatever. You know, I started off with PHP, now I migrated to Java, now I'm checking out with Python. You know, I've been dabbling around here and there, but I'll tell you, Python has become so great for me, at least. I mean, there are people who love it, and even, of course, even I love it. It's because, you know, it's totally so convenient to write Python code versus PHP or Java. Anyway, you will understand this when we go further. The reason I mentioned that is because I want you to know that this requires a little bit of programming knowledge. Okay, so this is a for loop. For loop is, this is how you write a for loop. For I, okay, in, there is a method called range, and then you can specify from where to where. Okay, so let's say I want to print 10 numbers, right? Starting from 1 to, oops, I should say for range 1 to, let's say I want to print numbers from 1 to 10. Let me just, you know, say for I in range 1 to 10, I'll say print I. Now what's going to happen is, you see, I added this, first of all I added this colon here, and then I said print I. You notice it's going from 1 to 9, which is not what we want. We want 1 to 10, but what is going on? We said we want it to be in range 1 to 10. That's correct. So what you have to understand is this number is included while the last number is not included. So the upper bound is not included. So what should I do if I have to print 10? Then I have to say for I in range 1 to 11 print I. Now notice we have 1 to 10. So that's as simple as that. Okay, so that is the basic idea for a for loop. Now we could argue that there should have been a way to print it to 10 without doing this. You know, if I just get rid of this, let's say I get rid of the first number, and if I say for I in range just 10, then it's going to just print 0 to 9. Why? Because by default it starts with 0, goes all the way till the upper bound, but the upper bound is not included. So again, if we want 10, we say for I in range 11, we get 0 to 10. Okay, so that is the basic idea of a for loop in Python, and make sure that you add this colon. Without this colon, it's going to go nowhere. Also, Python has a big deal about indentation. Now if I go over here, it says indentation error. You know, if you're coming from Java or PHP for that matter, you know, it expects you to print a bracket like this, right? So this sort of bracket is not there in Python at all. So the way you say that this line of code belongs to for loop is by indenting it, and a regular tab would do the job for you. So now that it works, so that is the basic idea for indentation in Python. All right, now let's talk about little bit of data structures. You know, I'm going to talk about, first of all, ArrayList or list. Okay, so list elements, and also notice the naming convention in Python as opposed to Java. This is how we name in Java, right? So elements. Okay, so This is how we name in Java, right? So list elements. But then in Python, you would do something like this: list ELE, or list elements also fine, but then there is an underscore, not an upper capital letter. It's just a Pythonic way of naming it, variable convention and everything. Alright, so list elements. List elements is a list. Okay, now you want to add elements to the list. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We add 5. Okay, even 6 for that matter. And see, Jupyter Notebook doesn't print anything if you don't specify the variable names. So I'm going to say list elements. If I hit play here, it's going to print out the elements in the list: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I'm going to say list. If I want to add an element to the list, now what do I do? List element dot append, and then I would enter the element that I can add. Let's say 92 for that matter. And then if I want to see what are all the elements in the list again, I'm going to say list element in the next line. So 92 is added. Now if I want to remove an element, how do I do? Well, I could say del list element of 92. Now can't delete function call. Okay, oops, what did I do? Well, let me just check out how to remove an element from list in Python. This is how you search for, you guys know this, right? So you should say list name dot remove and then specify the argument. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. It's been a long time since I used this del. Anyway, I got confused. Okay, so let me get rid of del here, and then if I say dot remove and then specify the element to be removed, okay, so it didn't throw us any error, which means it executed very well. So if I try and look at the elements, you see 92 is gone. So that is how you remove an element. Okay, so the next thing that we should know is another data structure, which is map. Okay, so map or Hashmap in Java is intuitively called as dictionary in Python. So Java map and Python dictionary, they both all mean the same, which is, they're all linking to the same key value pairs. Okay, so let's look at a basic hash map or dictionary in Python. So I'll call this as DICTN. Okay, so dictionary containing n elements. This is how a dictionary is going to be like. So you open a pair of braces, curly braces, so to speak, and then you specify the key. The key is A, and the value is alpha. Okay, so let's add another element to the dictionary. Let's say the key is B. Now the value is going to be beta. Okay, let's say the key is C, and the value, this is how you add key value pairs. It is as simple as that. So C, let's say cry. Alright, now this is how, oh, I'm sorry, this is a string, I'm so sorry. Okay, so string is a key, value is also a string, another string, another key value pairs, right? So this is how you have key and value, key value, key value. Okay, just to keep you in touch, you can actually add multiple data types into the list. So let's say you want to add list element. Let's say I want to add another element to the list, which is a string. Hello there. and if I say list element, look at that. So hello there was also added. So that is the idea behind adding as well. So you can add multiple data types into the list. And so this is the idea about a dictionary. Now how do I access the element inside the dictionary? So if I want to get the value of element A, what do I do? Usually in Java what we do is we say dictionary name or map name, and then we say dot get, right? But here what we do is we say dictionary name of the dictionary, then you use the index. So let's say I want to find the value for element A, then simply I do dictionary underscore n, the name of the dictionary, and then add it with square braces, and then choose the element. So that A is going to be alpha. Now what is the value for C, for instance? All we do is dict underscore n and then C, and if I play this, okay, so the value for C is cry. So that is the basic idea of accessing elements, adding elements in the dictionary, and things of that sort. As we progress, I would actually give more and more basic introduction to all these data structures, because I don't want to give a whole, I just don't want to throw a whole lot of stuff into this video and make it miserable. So anyway, so that is the basic idea for a list, a dictionary. I guess at this point also you should know, if at all you want to sort some elements inside a list. Okay, there are two ways to sort an element. You could say sorted, and then choose the data structure you want to sort. Basically you should choose the iterable that you want to sort. So if I say sorted list element, you see it's now going to throw me an error because it's not able to understand how to sort when the elements are numeric as well as strings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of remove, right? I'm going to remove this string, and if I hit play again, none type is not okay. Cool. You know what? I will do this in a separate line. Okay. So list element remove hello there. What? That's correct. I'll tell you what happened here. Just a moment. This time it should not contain hello there. Correct. Okay, so what happened here is, anyway, don't bother learning what happened here because it's going to just mess you up. Guys, I'm just kidding. Okay, so what is going to happen when you say list element dot remove? You know that when we say list element dot remove, it's going to remove an element from the list that we said we don't want to be present in the list, right? So I want to remove this 3, for example, and after removing, if I hit play again, so 3 is gone, right? Now basically what is going to happen once you do a remove is, a remove does not return anything. A remove does not return anything, so it's going to be none type. So that is a data type, none. See, in Java we have null, right? So a replacement for null in Python, just to so to speak, would be none, N-O-N-E. And then when you're trying to sort a none element, what do you expect? None, right? That exactly what happened. That was exactly what happened previously when I said list element dot remove. Okay, so now if I want to sort it, okay, list element sorted, it's giving me all the sorted elements back. But then, are you sure that this thing sorted? Because all the input values are all sorted ascending. By default the inputs are sorted. So how do we know that it's really sorting So what you should do is you should specify reverse equals false. Okay, so when you say reverse equals false, well, actually I should say reverse equals true. That means sort in descending order. Look at that, it's sorted in the descending order. So that is how we use how to sort an element in the list. Okay, and by default when you want to sort a dictionary, I'm just copying and pasting it here. If you want to sort a dictionary, which is what we have here, the sorting would be done with reference to keys. So this is how it's going to go. Sorted dict n reverse equals true. That would actually sort all the keys in reverse order. So that's what is the basic. I mean, you guys don't have to worry much about, you know, sorting and all these type of things in the first video itself, because, you know, I'm going to give a better explanation in the upcoming videos. But then what I really want you to know is, you know, there is this data structure, just like how other languages have. There is this list data structure, there is this dictionary data structure, and get the basic intuition for, you know, how the syntax for Python looks like. So that is all there is that you got to know in this video. In the next video, we'll check out more stuff related to Python. And I suppose, you know what, I'm going to get directly into libraries like NumPy, and we would continue our discussion about Python from there. And also you know, make sure that you check out this code if you're interested. I'll link that in the description in my GitHub account. And that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share. Thank you.